Welcome to the Seer Show. Join us as we dive into the dynamic world of health, wellness, mindset, and fitness with the unparalleled guidance of lifelong knowledge seekers, Sifu Rafael and Nikki Gangemi. Sifu and Nikki will unlock groundbreaking insights with extraordinary guests from around the globe. You'll get the latest holistic approaches to well-being with a sharp focus on the powerful connection between mind, body, and soul. Get ready to take the leap. It's time to embrace a brighter and healthier future with us at the Seer Show.
5, 4,
Nikki, good morning. Happy Wednesday. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Sifu. I am excellent this morning. How are you doing?
I'm exceptional, getting better every day. Just a little bit though, right?
Just a little bit.
That's
Yes,
all we
that
can ask for.
1% improvement each day, right?
Nikki, I got to tell you, sometimes it's not even that much. Sometimes that's a lot.
Sometimes 1% is a lot, right?
Yeah, I don't mind if I get better, even 1/10 of a percent or 1/100th of a percent, but at least I know I improved.
That's right. And it has to be sustainable. So
Correct.
small incremental changes.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I eat. I don't like stuff the whole food in my face. I just bite at a time.
That's
And
right.
I think that we can grow that way. And I love the fact that today we're talking about empowering growth and mastery. Oof. You can't become a master at anything overnight. I've never met anyone.
What is the saying? 10,000 hours to mastery, something like that.
Some people do it earlier than that. Some people, it takes them double that time.
That's right. There are no rules.
There are no rules. The whole cool thing about life, I think the only rules that we are able to know is that the sun comes out, even though you may not see it sometimes because it's cloudy, and the moon also. It's there. That's the only rules we do know that are constant. You never know. Those may change also. Hopefully
That's
not in
right.
our lifetime.
Hopefully not.
We do have two incredible human beings who are going to be joining us. We have Chris and Christiane. So why don't we go ahead and bring them on? And I know we're going to have an incredible conversation. Gentlemen, welcome to the Seer Show. How are you today?
Thank you very much. Very nice to be
Good
here.
morning. Yeah, good morning, guys. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the topic today, right? Empowering growth. What does that even mean? Either one of you can take it. What does that mean to you, empowering growth?
Okay, for me, I think it means embracing a certain self-control and self-discipline. I don't know how it is for Chris.
For me, it's in similar fashion, but it's really embracing every day as today, right? I focus purely on what I can do today and make an impact today. I never focus too far in the future and try not to look backwards. So today is my day, and starting it with you guys is part of the day.
Ooh, love it. Thank you for starting with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When we consider growth, sometimes we need a plan, right? And what if your plan works out? But what if it doesn't? Do we have plan B? Do we have plan C? We recently had somebody on our show who had to go to plan B, and then even plan C, right? But it's not giving up on your plan. I believe that's how we can grow without giving up on the end result.
Yeah, and I think it has also to do with that's what they say with it, intelligent people, they don't give up. And I thought that's a smart thing to say, because eventually, if you understand where you're going, you probably won't give up, because you have a goal to accomplish.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like for me, it's sort of like, I think I've talked about this, is like, a lot of people have to-do list, and I've always said, hey, you got to have a to-love list. And so focus on that to-love list today, and you'll get a lot done. And your journey will be much, much greater for sure.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a love list.
I heard that.
That's
Yeah.
a great one because
Oh,
it aligns so much with the self-discipline. Because a person asked me, it was a week ago, it's like, what do you think about self-discipline? And it's a difficult thing, because if how do you grab hold on self-discipline? What is it exactly? And if you look at it, it's something that you really love to do, and you don't have to think about it. You're doing it anyway. So I think it ties very in with Chris, what you said, self-love list.
Yeah. Yeah.
wow.
It's interesting because you people do have plan Bs and plan Cs. I used to be the guy who had all those plans, like I even, D, E, F plans, too many plans. But in some cases, I think the thing is stick to your A plan and never give up on that A plan. And I think if you focus on it fully, you'll achieve your results that you need to achieve. It's it's always good to have a B plan, and but I think if you narrow it down a little bit, you can do a lot better with your main plans.
I think if you arrive at plan C, that you arrived at procrastination.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends, right? Sometimes you may be using the wrong plan or the wrong tool for that plan. And then somebody goes, hey, use this tool. Like, wait a minute, that doesn't align with my plan. So, no, I'm not going to use it. And so your plan takes longer. What about
Right.
that?
Oh, that's a good one, because I think what you touch on is held beliefs. And I struggle with that because my whole thing is, if you want to have self-discipline and you want to have more self-control, then you have to go against your own urges and your desires. And those are attached to your whole held beliefs. So what you essentially want to do is you want to change some beliefs inside of you, and that goes with growth and some pain.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, pain is part of the process, but I think when you realize sometimes I think if people let go a lot in their day and realize they're not always in control, you will find you can flow a little bit better, as opposed to, the Tao teaches you not to go against the river, right? You just flow and things, and you don't fight that current, right? If you fight in the current, you're gonna have more struggle. So I think it's an easier flow when you go with things a little easier.
My gosh, you guys give me so much thoughts.
So many thoughts, right? I mean, they're just fishing out the golden nuggets.
Well, here's the thing, right? What if you're going down the stream and you're going with the flow, but then if there's a drop and you need to swim against it in order to survive, and you need to grab onto somebody's throwing your rope, and you're like, no, I'm cool. I'm just going down the flow, but at the end of the flow, it's that drop where you can die, and yet people are like, no, I'm good. I'm going with the flow. So many people are saying, here's a lifeline, don't die. No, I'm good.
Right.
So we have to be careful and discern
Yeah.
what's in front of us. Does our plan have to change? Because every day should not be the same. Every day should be a little bit different. Otherwise, it's Groundhog Day all over again.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That way. Well, I kind of like a little bit of free falling and a little bit of changes.
I agree, but not if it's going to take your life, and that's the ultimate sacrifice. We don't want that, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I think when we tune into our body, I mean, our body knows, you're walking down the street and the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and it's like your body knows that there could be some danger lurking near. And sometimes we've got so much going on in here, we're cut off from our body. and we can't feel it. But if we just get quiet, take a couple of deep breaths and tune in, our body can tell us, is there danger? Because I'm going with the flow. I'm going to go down that big drop, and listen to your body.
Yeah. Is there danger or is there fear?
Or fear. Yeah. Or something else. Or, right? There's so many possibilities.
Right.
Yeah.
I
want
actually,
to
sorry,
go ahead, Chris. Actually, I want to talk to you about. You talked about love, right? And you're doing something because your heart tells you that this is the right thing to do. Would you mind telling us about the work that you're doing with cancer?
Absolutely. So, yeah, I sit on the board for cancer research. We a company called Coeptis Therapeutics. It's a public company. We focus on snap cart therapy, which is really advanced cancer therapies for very hard to solve cancer. So this is very, very detailed areas where we're trying to, find solutions to cancers right now that are just, crippling and deadly to this world, right? And so I'm very proud of the fact that I sit with people that are much smarter than me, I assure you. And so, great scientists, some of the best in the world, and that are really trying to solve these problems because, there's so many cancers. Like my son, he passed away of cancer 3 years ago, of a terminal cancer. And, it's a rare cancer, and it's a cancer that is only seen in Southeast Asia and in old people. And how does a 22-year-old kid from North Pittsburgh get a cancer of this thing? And a lot of it, who knows? It's environmental. It's the things we eat. There's so many things that are going on in this environment. But I'm proud of the fact that I work with a group of individuals who are dedicated to solving or trying to solve, these very hard to find areas within the body to cure, sustain life. And, at the heart of it, that's really the most important thing, at least for me. That's the love. That's the part that gives me the most satisfaction in life. And yeah, so for me, that's a wonderful thing, a chance to be able to help for all humanity anywhere I can. That's a great thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the work that you guys are doing, and my condolences on your 22-year-old son, which will always live on with you. And when we talk about heart, I mean, everybody here seems to have a big heart, and incredible work. And thank you for that you're doing, or that you're part of. Right?
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I love that you said, sorry about that, is that you're sitting on a board with people way smarter than you.
Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of board I want to be in.
Well, I've spent my whole life surrounding myself with people smarter than me. So they elevate you, right? That's kind of the way life should be. You shouldn't be you never want to go down, right? You never want to be seeking people who are less smarter than you. I know people do that because it makes them look smarter. But in the end, it elevates you and the way you go about your life and how you approach things and how you can achieve better things, whether it's in business and whether it's just in life in general. Most importantly, how you approach your fellow man and woman is just, it's very important to elevate yourself. Always elevate yourself.
Absolutely. That's empowering right there.
Yeah.
Christian, you were going to say something. Go ahead, my friend.
No, I just, when people are, you have some adversities in your life that you think, okay, yeah, I can handle this. But there are some of them that are like, take a regular person out. And I think what Chris experiences, that's one of them. And it's hard for me always to think, like, how do you get back on your feet from those things? It's amazing that people can. So yeah, good for you, Chris. I mean, man.
Well, and you got the same name as my son. So Christian.
Oh, really?
Christian.
Oh, wow.
So I when you came on, I was like, okay, this is totally meant to be, because that's crazy. So
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
yeah, very amazing.
And in your research, how far are they looking? It's like, even because you see so many things coming by, and I don't know anything, I don't know much about it, but you see the things now with alternative, like ivermectin and everything that I hear now, with possibilities on curing or slowing down things. Is that all what you guys are doing? And
Yeah. So ours is focused on snap cart therapy, which is, and we work specifically, our technology is the connectors. I won't get into the details of the science piece of it, but it's essentially figuring out, some cancers, it's ways to connect to the cancers and be able to cure your body, from the inside out, right? At the end of the day, typical, cancer's been traditionally been done by chemotherapies. It's the traditional route, right? And so the therapies that are being developed today in the world is, how do we cure ourselves from the inside out? It's sort of an interesting parallel to how we should all live our life, right?
Yeah.
So in a way, is it we're enabling the body to do what it could do on its own, and by providing some internal connectors to the cancers and ways to solve it, there are ways to kill the cancer, right? I think that's the future of medicine. Is that today? Not necessarily. Some people do get cured that way, with whether it's bionic T cells and things that get injected back into you. But ultimately, that's the future of medicine. It's not this outward thing that we have typically done. So, yeah, I think that that's what we're working on, and that's, But like I said, it's way over my head on some of these things. I just sit on the board and help direct and give advice.
Love it. Love it.
Awesome.
When we consider, and Christian said it perfectly, incredible how you've went through this with your son, and you're here with us, vibrant, and you're not just, like I said, your son will live with you, but you're there now to help other people so that they don't go through what your son went through. That's incredible. What I'd like to start to change the subject on a little bit is mastery. How does someone become a master at anything? That's a question for everyone.
Well, I think that key part of is that practice, and you see it in the word of kung fu is hard work, and doing it daily and practicing the same things that you know of. I think eventually you become a master in something. So no matter what you are doing, it can also be bad. So if you do practicing bad things, you become a master at that too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I agree. Just repetition, but I think I think having a process with your day is very important. Rituals, in the sense that when I get up, I have a process to stay by. I think certainly when people get knocked down, I've been way knocked down, that, the simplicity of putting one foot in front of the other and mastering to get your mind right? That, in the end, that is the thing that is most important, is get your mind straight and understand. And the more you understand how the world works, and I think I do better than most, and just because of what I've seen and witnessed and gone through. So I think that the ability to be very focused on, for me, it's particularly focused on the day and how you can achieve great things in every single day. And if you narrow it down, that's the keys. But I think that's the key to being a master of anything. And I think you're right, Christian. You can be the master of bad things too, or bad habits, and but I think it starts with your mind. You make sure your mind's straight.
And I think in that case, like if people are good in, let's say, procrastination, and you become very good at that, it's very hard to attach a different routine to your day, because you already mastered something that's very strong, and now you have to overcome it, and now you're setting yourself back. So if you're not, so also mastery, I think, becomes with a certain awareness. And if you don't aware that you are procrastinating, or you are giving in to your urges all the time on quick and an immediate gratification, then it becomes a different story, a more difficult one.
When it comes to procrastination, I had a client who said to me, Sifu, I'm going to stop procrastinating. I'm going to really get things straight. I'm starting next month.
Good luck. Yeah, next one. That's a good one. Yeah.
He literally said that to me. I was like, you're doing great. Keep it up.
It's a goal. It's a goal.
Go.
Yeah,
when you think of mastery, I think that we have to accept failure. And the failure is where we truly become a master, where we can start to understand where we failed. But I think we need to take time. Nikki said it earlier about being quiet. Sometimes we have to be quiet in our failure, not to dwell on it in a negative way, but to ask failure for a way out of it.
Well, I see what you mean, but also accepting failure. There's different ideas about it, right? Because some say, like, don't accept failure, be aware of it, and maybe account for it. But you don't have to accept it as a certain truth in a way of like, okay, we're going to accept it. We're going to sit with it. Some people think like, hey, we are going for the win, and the losers that are just on the way to winning. So they accept failure in a rate of like, okay, I'm aware of it. We did it. Let's get on with it. So accepting failure, it's such a difficult topic. A lot of things are, but if you start to unraveling it, it's like, okay, what is truly accepting it, and how far are you going to accept it, and how is it relating to the end goal, where I want to go, and is it even a positive thing to do? In some cases, it is, maybe not. So indeed, it's difficult accepting.
I want to say hi to Spencer Jones, who gave us a little thumbs up, and he came to say hi to us. I didn't mean not to move from it, but sometimes we have to learn from it, right? So sitting with it is what I meant, and I agree with you 1,000%. It's where do we go once we fail? Do we just put it aside and because there's so many lessons we can learn on how to do it better, how to improve upon it, so we don't keep doing the same thing that created the failure to begin with. So this is what I meant by sitting with it, being quiet, listening to that failure, so it can teach us how to do more, how to do better, how to improve. Look, cancer research has been around since cancer was found, yet they really don't have answers. Because if they did, we would not have cancer. Cancer keeps rearing its ugly head in different forms, in different ways. And it's going to be a continuous study until we actually can abolish it. So, but like anything in life, in order for us to become a master, my thought is it's not always rosy and peachy and beautiful. Sometimes we do have to swim upstream. We have to swim against the current. We have to iron sharpens iron, right? All these different things we can talk about. But mastery is it's not for everybody.
Yeah, no. One thought. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Nikki.
Go ahead, Nikki.
I was just going to say, one thought I had while I'm listening to the conversation is the word feedback. That's a reframe that I had learned, that failure is simply feedback. So I learned what perhaps doesn't work. So let me course correct or reorient myself or try something different. And so I think of the word fail, FAIL, and then I think of feedback as I level up, FAIL. So I'm getting the feedback and then I keep going. To me, failure is if I want something and I give up and stop and I still want it. That's the only way to me that I can fail. But if I keep going and I go different avenues and try different things, then I'm a winner. And that's just a decision I made.
That sounds wonderful,
Yeah.
Nikki.
Nikki, you are a winner. Come on, girl.
I'm a winner.
Yeah, but
You have to wake up every day and say, I'm a winner, right?
That's right. That's
that is
right.
exactly what I'm talking about in intelligence, creative intelligence, because as you say, the feedback, if you're not aware of it, because you can sit in your own life, but not seeing the feedback. And I see that literally around me, that people are procrastinating, but it's hard to see yourself procrastinating because it's a process and you're in it and you cannot see it.
Yeah.
So when is this feedback coming back to you that you actually can decide on an intellectual way, like, oh, I did something wrong here. Maybe I should not be doing it. And then you end up doing it again and you become faster aware and faster aware until you can catch it. And I think in that way, if you talk about mastery, we need a person, and it can be a coach, mentor, a guide, whatnot, alongside you that can point those things out so you can catch it quicker and you're on your trajectory to your goal quicker in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awareness is a big part of mastery. We can't change something we're not aware of. So awareness is step one, and willingness is step two. We got to be willing.
Yes, and sometimes you have to. I think that's what I do, but and not everybody will do that. But I'm teasing someone to that willingness, like because if you're stuck in certain beliefs and it's hard to get out, you need either a hand on the shoulder, like, come on, you can do this, and I hear encouragement and some recognition. But on the other side, someone needs a kick in the butt. So there's always that. What a mentor can decide, like, what is the best thing to do here? Kick him or slap a hand on the back. I'm a little bit rough. Yes.
But there's people who want to become masters at something, and yet they don't accomplish it. I actually had someone complain to me yesterday that they're not where they should be as a master. And I said to them, why are you judging yourself based on what others have accomplished? You're forgetting where you are. I said, look at you. Look at your life. Look what you've accomplished. Stop comparing yourself to others. You've done so much, yet so many people who've been in this game as long as you have, they're not doing what you do. You're a master. You're not the master that you want to be, but you're a master. You're setting examples for others, but you want the accolades. Forget the title. Forget it. It's not important. It's what you do. Your actions reflect who you are or who you will become. And he was like, that's interesting. And at the end, I shook his hand and I said, listen, I am very proud of who you are. And he goes, yeah, but I'm not like you. I said, exactly. And I'm not like you either. I said, we're individuals. And I said, don't forget how far you've come. I had to remind him like 3 times. You've come so far. Look what you've done.
Yeah.
Look, other people haven't done what you've done. They can't even compare.
Well, it's very easy to compare the outside persona from someone else with the inside persona of yourself. And it's where we go off, because you cannot see the inside persona of someone else and what they're struggling with. And so if you wish to be someone else, it's you have to wish the struggles and everything else too. And yeah, I agree with you. Maybe he's not a master in patience yet.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I
Patience
think
with-
I think he needs to master the fact that he's not always in control too, right? So I think you could mastering the idea that you're not in control, the actual idea that start realizing you don't control everything. That's the mastery of life. So I think once you know, sometimes we get overcomplicated that we can control everything in life, right? We think we can control our circumstances. I thought I could control my son's outcome, right? I thought I could control so many different things, and so I realize now that I can't. You know, I can control what I can control here. I'm here. I can control my present with you, and people need to. You know, I think it better understand that it could opens up a lot more.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a good
When we talk about, go ahead, Nikki. When we just a question for you: how do you control your own mastery? Nikki, you're up.
well, speaking of control, I was thinking I love the analogy of staying within your circle of control. You know, if you were to imagine drawing a circle around your feet, what's in the circle is what you have control over, which to me, it's really just, you know, your attention and where you place your focus. That we can control. With awareness, we can say, oh, I notice I'm focused on what I don't want. What do I want? And then move your attention. So yeah, with control, I think it's self-control. And for what the things outside of you that you can't control, just being willing to lean in from a place of curiosity and just being curious about it. You know, what can I learn from this? That's a question that I'll ask myself to grow.
Chris, what is your thoughts on that?
How do I control my mastery? To me, it's very simple. Love. Everything I do is through love. So I can control my mastery is love, kindness. That's it. I assure you, I have no other, if I can put more love out, if I can put more kindness out, more good things to others, most importantly, happen. But the goodness that comes back to me, I'm a master, man. That's it. That's all I need to focus on. So the more you focus on, for me at least, is that singular thought of love will get me to so many things in this world, because I think that's, to me, again, the most important thing in the world is that, personally.
I love it. So what I'm listening to is that you're a giver, not a taker, because takers don't really have heart in their taking. Givers have a heart when they're giving.
I used to take,
Ah,
so right. So I always say, there's a pre-cancer Chris and there's an after cancer Chris. So that the person that I knew before is a different person, right? Doesn't mean that I don't take money or I don't, I don't take opportunities. I mean, let's not, that's not what I mean. It's just a different mindset of how I approach every interaction with another human being, right? Instead of looking through people, I'm with those people all the time. Whoever I'm with, it's about them. It's always about them. And I think I'm a much more, I guess, more giving in that sense, that I want to put more out to others and give more first. What comes back to me, good. If it does, great.
I love it. Christian, Christian. I love to know how you control mastery for you.
Well, mastery, if you, I think, want to control anything in life, what Chris says, the love, it's like it goes with virtues indeed, but to control any virtue, you have to control yourself, defense mechanism. And I relate that to ego, emotions, and feelings. If you cannot control anything in that realm, then it's very difficult to control anything about yourself, and therefore mastery.
Love it. Love it. when we consider control, there really is no control. We think we have control.
Well, there you are.
Until we lose it.
That's
Right,
the
again and again and again.
Oh yeah. It's very interesting that hey Doris, welcome. Thank you for joining us, and Anthony as well. When we think about controlling, especially another human being, we're so far away from what really we're doing, because we can't truly control another person. The only way we can actually control someone is if we're in their brain telling them what to think. Right? So that's a little brainwashing, but brainwashing doesn't truly work anyway, because you have no control.
Sifu.
I'm sorry?
I think we do it all the time. I mean, I'm brainwashing my kid, no matter if I want to. I mean, that's what a parent does. It's a form of brainwashing. It's telling them what to do because I think it's the best for him.
Right.
He has to listen, even if he wants or not. So I think we do it all the time. Yeah. And I think that's our survival mechanism. That's why we birth children, because we want to reproduce. We want to have some form of control. And I think it's also a form of discussing, because if you discuss, I'm going to put part of me inside of part of you. Because if I make known my ideas, hopefully it touches on your brain and maybe affecting you or control you in a certain way. So I think we do it all the time.
I do have a question.
Yes.
How old is your son?
5.
Okay, wait till he's 14. We can have this conversation again.
Right.
Stop doing it. Try to.
Yeah.
I do my best to stay out of everyone else's brain because I've got enough in my brain. I can't barely. I'm way past the brain of anyone else's brain. There's too much going on in other people's brains right now, especially.
That's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, no, absolutely. We can't, and that's the only way we can control another person, if we actually listen. AI is now another brain that we have to deal with. Right? It's out there. It's doing things. It's at the infancy right now, and it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
What does AI look like 20, 30 years from now? Oof. Are we back into a Total Recall and the Terminator and all that kind of stuff? Where are you going, Chris? You're going to a different planet? What's going on?
30 years from today? Listen, I doubt that. But that's whatever to be will be. But I'll be 85 years old. So
well, hey, listen, hold on a second. I'm inviting everybody here to my 100th birthday party. So just
I won't be showing up. I'll be too old.
No, we're dancing. I love to dance, right,
coming.
Nikki? We will be moving.
How many years from now is that?
A bunch.
A bunch.
Send the invitation.
Doing the math.
Yeah.
Invitations coming, because I want people who don't agree with me at my party.
Oh, I will go.
I want people who challenge me at my party. That's how I'm going to be. Listen, my great-great-great-grandfather lived to be 113. He had all his wits about him. My goal is to kick his butt and live way longer than him. So 113. Out of 100, I want to be with people who are way smarter than me, who still challenging me, and don't go, oh, he's 100. We should be careful with him. No, I want people to come and challenge me and make me move and make me do things and not say, oh, he's too old. Old is a frame of mind. You're as young as you want to be. So, Chris, 85, you're going to be a toddler, man.
A toddler.
Whatever you think. That'll be fun.
It only matters what you think, Chris.
Send your invitation. No problem.
That's right.
I'll challenge you anytime you want. Let's go.
I love that.
We can do
Thank
it now.
you.
We don't have to do it at 115. You know, we can do that.
That's right.
Hey,
150.
listen, that's why you guys are here, to challenge me, to make me think, right?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
this is why Nikki's my co-host, because she's a superhuman, and I was fortunate that I met her in May of this year, right?
Yeah.
And we kind of connected, and then she came on my show, and then I said to her, I said, you're an exceptional human being. Would you be my co-host? And she said, let me think about it. She didn't say yes right away.
Oh, I didn't? Oh.
No, you didn't.
I forgot.
And I appreciate that, because it was, let me make sure this aligns with me. And that, if she would have said, yeah, I can't wait, I would have said, oh, maybe we need to think this over. It's important when people take time to process something that's going to be important. And thank you for doing that, Nikki. Really appreciate you.
You're welcome. I show up 100%, sometimes more. So I want to make sure if I'm saying yes to something, that it's a hell yes. Like I can show up for that, and I have the capacity. So that's probably why I had to think about it for a minute.
Nikki, you have the power of the pause. You have an understanding of pausing. So that's a good thing. You wait and pause before you make an answer. So that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time.
Thanks, Chris.
That's mastery right there, Chris.
Yes. Pausing. Yeah, the pausing allows you to meet with lots of grace and see beyond pain and find gratitude in the present, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
pausing is such a powerful thing. It allows us not to have regrets. Because sometimes, whatever that chime was, I loved it because it was right on. I don't know if you guys heard a chime, but I heard a chime.
Yeah.
And so the pause allows us to not have regrets of something that we would have answered too quickly, or to say, oh, I didn't mean that. Well, you said it. You must have meant it. It was a thought in your head, and you didn't think carefully before you said it. So the pause is such a powerful tool.
yeah, I agree. I mean, you can discover resilience, strength. I mean, you name it, rekindle joy. There's so many things, even adversity. There's beauty to be found and lessons to be learned and love to be shared. So.
Can I throw something against that?
Sure.
Go for it.
The pause. I like it when people are maybe just rambling sometimes, because in that you find some judgments of people you can work with, and then you understand also who a person, what he stands for, who he is, and how he thinks about certain things. And I think it makes it easier sometimes to coach or to be in discussion with someone else, because they show the back of their tongue, so to speak. And so, yeah, that's it. With my ideas, I think it's always good to have both sides of the equation.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, one of the smartest persons I've spoken to this year had the most amount of pauses I've ever heard in my life.
Really?
Most about what? Pauses. Oh.
Pauses. I've never spoken to someone who paused this much, yet our conversation was phenomenal. He's 82 years old, and he's the kind of guy that high-powered attorneys bring in so he can select a jury. And he never speaks unless he has thought out the whole sentence, because he understands the power of the word.
Mm-hmm.
And he has directed very high-level cases based on what the witnesses have said because of their words. So therefore, he never speaks without full thought. And if you don't have patience for him, you're going to lose so much. The man is brilliant. When I grow up, I want to be just like him.
All right.
Well, it sounds like you're well on your way.
You're in the process of becoming. We all are.
You know, I don't
That
know.
That whole talk you just had so many pauses. So I was really focused on your pauses. You were
Yes, purposeful pauses.
Purpose for pause, yeah.
Yeah, my parents thought I had ADHD when I was a kid, so I lacked the patience to listen that long for pauses. I'm like, okay, drifting off. No, I'm joking. But I do have, I think, something that I like to be in conversation. And when people, because in my book that I wrote about, I write about a Sifu, and he takes those pauses and he understands when to speak and when not to speak. And I probably need to learn that a little bit more, a little bit better. But yeah, it's a great power to have.
Yeah, you know, I just want to say this because I've been thinking about it. For me, the comfort in the pause came out of discomfort, and it was a challenge for me. I remember years ago when I worked at a dental office, like receptionist, and I was going to call out of work. And the manager paused, and because she was silent, I kept filling the airspace with reasons why. And then she told me afterward, you know, some people do that intentionally because they know you're going to be uncomfortable and you're going to keep talking and they're going to get more information out of you. So when she said that, I said, you know what? I'm going to be uncomfortable in the pause and just pause. and see how long the other person will stay quiet before they fill the airtime. So it was a skill, and it used to be uncomfortable, and now it's very comfortable. I like it. So I think it's a skill we can master. Going back to the topic.
Yeah.
I think that silence is golden. With that, I want to thank everybody for today. I know we've passed our time being here together, and I do have a show in 13 minutes. Another one's called Coaching Call, and I have an incredible human being who's going to be my guest. Gentlemen, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to tell our audience like a 30-second commercial on you. Chris, you're up first, my friend.
Well, I leave everyone with this. My son, when he was diagnosed with cancer, used to tell us and his family, he would remind us, he never complained. He'd say, what's good about today? And so I think it's a great reminder that if you can wake up every day, you can wake up and say to yourself, what's good about today, whether it's in the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, that it can remind us that there is true beauty in every single day, even in the worst of circumstances. And so my son taught me that even when he was in this amount of pain and things that he was going through, they could still use that phrase to remind us that there is beauty every single day.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Chris.
That is beautiful.
Christian, my friend, you have 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, I have nothing much to say. I saw a bumper sticker yesterday that says like, don't follow me, I'm lost. And I don't think it's a good thing to say about yourself, but also it's good to say about yourself. So if you are interested and you want to be being in the news, go to my website. It's on the screen. So yeah, that's it.
Love it. Love it. And Nikki, my friend, you are such an example of an amazing giving person. Tell us, you got 30 seconds also.
Thank you, Sifu. Well, what I would like to say is to have patience with yourself. The person you see on the screen today is far from the person I was 2+ decades ago. So change is possible. And a big part of that is loving yourself, accepting yourself, forgiving yourself. So I love helping people to get out of their own way and really up level their self-image. So you can connect with me. NikkiGangemi.com.
Love it. Love it. Well, everybody, God bless you. Have an amazing, amazing rest of the day. I'm going to head out. If you guys want to stick around, that's cool. I'm going to end the stream. Everybody, thank you for joining us today. I know there were a couple of people out there. You gave us some thumbs up. In the future, it's okay if you put a comment in there. We love hearing from you. Thank you, everybody. Have yourself an exceptional rest of the day. Take care.
Yeah, make it an excellent day.
Yeah.